Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my November TBR. October was a pretty good reading month, and I'm hoping to kind of continue that role going into November and all the way through the end of the year really. So let's jump straight in. We will start off with the library books that I need to get through in the month of November. I almost forgot what month it was, even though I just said it. All the library books that I need to get through in the month of November. I actually only have 4 things that are due back this month, which is really great because if you've been watching my channel recently, then you know that library due dates have been totally kicking me in the ass. So let's jump straight in and talk about the library books. The first book I need to get to is Peep Show by Lee Redhead. This is a crime novel, I believe, about a woman who has to go undercover as a stripper. I believe she's trying to solve a murder. I don't know too much else about it. This is one of the books that I need to read for one of my 2018 goals. I don't have super high hopes for it if I'm being honest, but hopefully it'll surprise me. I then have The Reversal by Michael Connolly. So this is technically a Mickey Haller book, so it is a reread for me because I have read the Mickey Haller books before I started reading the Harry Bosch series, but I'm rereading this for its context in the Harry Bosch series because Harry Bosch is involved in this one. I can't remember exactly what this one is about, but I'm sure I'll remember as I go, as I read, and I do always really enjoy Michael Connolly, so I'm looking forward to this because I'm sure, even though I've read it before, that it'll be a lot of fun. And the last 2 things that I have to get to this month from the library are actually graphic novels. So I have Giant Days Volume 7 and Giant Days Extra Credit. I'm not exactly clear exactly what this extra credit volume is. I believe it's published after Volume 7. I might just be like little kind of side stories. I'm not exactly clear, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it because I do really, really love this series. So those are the only library books that I have to get to this month, but I'm actually putting 2 more on my TBR because and 2 of those are graphic novels, so I'm hoping that if I get through a couple more library books, then I'll be really ahead and I won't be constantly being hit over the head with due dates like I have been the past couple of months. So I'm also hoping to get to Between Georgia by Joshilyn Jackson. Joshilyn Jackson, if you've been watching my channel, is an author who I've really been enjoying this year. I read a book of hers, The Almost Sisters, earlier in the year, really enjoyed it, and I've read another one of hers, and so this is the 3rd one of hers that I'm planning to pick up. I don't know too much about what this is about. It seems that it's basically just a family drama about family secrets, and I think it maybe has something to do with a woman who was adopted or something like that. I'm not exactly clear, but I'm hoping to really enjoy it because I have enjoyed both of the other 2 books by Joshilyn Jackson that I read. I'm also thinking this is going to be a really quick read because it's not very big, and this is a large print edition, so the lighting is terrible, but the font is ginormous, if you guys can see that. So I'm hoping to really enjoy this. And then the last book from the library that I'm hoping to get to is actually another graphic novel. So this is Paper Girls Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan is the writer, and there's a couple of artists and things. This is a sci-fi graphic novel about a group of girls, 4, the cover would lead me to believe, who have a paper route, and then something weird goes on. Like I said, it is science fiction. Science fiction is probably one of my least read genres. I've heard really mixed things about this. I'm hoping I enjoy it, but I guess we'll see. So, like I said, there's a couple of extra on there that aren't technically due back, so if things get a bit tight with my TBR, I don't have to read those last 2 this month, but it would be really nice to get ahead with my library due dates this month. So now moving on to the books from my physical TBR that I'm hoping to get to in November. So first off, I'm basically hoping to get through the Glass trilogy by Maria V. Schneider. So this is made up of the first book, which is Storm Glass, the second book, which is Sea Glass, and the third book, which is Spyglass. This is a spin-off trilogy from the Study series by Maria V. Schneider. It kind of works like the Shadowhunter Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, where you need to read the 3 books of the Study series, you then read this trilogy, and then you can read the final 3 books in the Study series. That's what I understand. So this is a spin-off trilogy, like I said, and it does follow a side character that is mentioned, like it's a side character from the Study series. So really looking forward to getting to this because I did quite enjoy the Study series. The first book was definitely by far my favorite, but I did still really enjoy the rest of the books, and I'm really looking forward to being back in this world and kind of seeing what else Maria V. Schneider has to offer from that world. And then the other book that I'm hoping to get through from my physical TBR is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. From what I understand, this is a historical fantasy, and it's about this magical circus that just turns up different places, and I think it's got something to do with 2 magicians or something who have some kind of jewel, some kind of magical jewel. I could be completely wrong on the details, but this is a very, very beloved novel on BookTube, so I'm really, really hoping that I love this. Now moving on to the ebooks that I'm hoping to get through in November. So first off, we have Love's Prey by Meg Zume X. This one was actually on my TBR last month, but I didn't get to it. This is a Kindle backlist book, and it is it's a YA romance. The cover, I mentioned this last month, makes me feel like it's paranormal or fantastical in nature, but it is just shelved as a romance, and the synopsis only sounds like a romance. It's basically about a girl who I think is very reserved and has got a lot of walls up, and she meets a boy, and I think it's just about their romance. So like I said, it's a Kindle backlist book. I presume it was probably a free Kindle book, so hopefully it's a good one. I then have a book called Touching Freedom by Surin Hakobian. I'm probably butchering that, I apologize. This is another Kindle backlist book. This one has a very interesting, like weirdly interesting synopsis, kind of. It's basically about, it's shelved as YA, but the main character is 22, so I guess it would be more new adult. And she is going overseas for an international youth meeting, and she's really excited to be going away from home for the first time, to be out of, like, kind of from under the thumb of her overprotective father. And she meets another guest at the international youth meeting who is definitely older than the other guest there, and she's, you know, very drawn to this man. But in order to, I don't know, be together or to get to know him, she has to confront his dark past. I don't really know what that means. It is shelved as being a mystery as well. So I don't know. This one's got kind of a weird synopsis, but hopefully it's another good one. The final ebook that I'm hoping to get through is a NetGalley book, and it's Now You See Her by Heidi Perks. This is a thriller, and this one's basically about a woman who is looking after her best friend's daughter one day, and she looks down at her phone for just a few minutes scrolling through Facebook, and when she looks up, her best friend's daughter has gone missing. And it's just basically about that story. It's, you know, it just sounds like your typical kind of missing child thriller, but hopefully it's going to be a good one. And finally, moving on to the audiobooks that I'm hoping to get through in the month of November. Unlike previous months where I'm not exactly sure what's going to come off hold, I'm confident that I'm going to get to all of these books I'm about to mention because I already have all of them downloaded, ready to go. I've had a lot of holds come in recently. So the first one I have is Wool by Hugh Howey. This one I actually started listening to in October. This is a adult dystopian novel that is basically about a world where Earth has become kind of uninhabitable. I think if you even like breathe the air, you're going to die. And so the population now lives in this below ground silo, and it's like 140 levels. It's this massive, massive silo. And it's just basically kind of about that world. And it's probably going to be some corruption and stuff going on because it's a dystopian. So yeah, really looking forward to getting to that. I've heard pretty positive reviews about this. It is a trilogy. Looking forward to finishing it because I have already started it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to finishing off that one. I then have a book that I've never really heard anything about, but I just saw it as a new book that my library had acquired on audiobook. This is Damsel by Eleanor K. Arnold. It's a YA/new adult fantasy, and it's about a world where when a prince is about to like come of age, I think it is, or is going to become king, I'm not exactly sure, he has to go on this like journey to slay a dragon and rescue a damsel. And all's that the main character, she is the damsel, all she remembers, she doesn't remember, she just remembers basically waking up and having been rescued, like she's being rescued by this prince, and she's taken back to his kingdom to be his queen. And I think it's just all about that kind of world, and that maybe there's more to the damsels and dragons, you know, all of that type of thing. That's basically what the synopsis says. If I'm being honest, I feel like I already have figured out what's going to go on in this novel just from reading the synopsis, but we'll see. It could be really good, it could be really bad. Like I said, I've never really heard anything about it, but it looked kind of interesting, and my library had it, so I did download that one. Next, I actually have The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White. This one I was really excited to see my library get because, like I've mentioned in the past, although my library is getting better, they're getting much better at getting like newer releases in on audio, which is always really exciting. So I immediately put this one on hold when I saw that my library had a copy. This is a Frankenstein retelling type of thing that's basically follows Elizabeth Frankenstein, who I believe is Dr. Frankenstein's wife. And it's basically following her story. It is YA, I believe, but I presume it's supposed to be pretty dark. It's The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. I know this has been pretty popular. A lot of people have been reading it. I haven't really heard too many reviews, so I don't know if the reviews have been positive or negative, but I'm looking forward to reading it myself and giving, you know, forming my own opinion. And the final audiobook that I'll definitely be getting to this month is An Unwanted Guest by Shari Lapina. I have a Shari Lapina book, The Couple Next Door, on my physical TBR. And I've been very interested in this one in particular, An Unwanted Guest. I've heard pretty positive reviews of this one, and when my library, again, got it as a very recent release, I was really excited. And it actually came off hold really quickly, this one, which I was, again, excited about. This one is a thriller that is focused on a group of people who are at, I think it's a like ski lodge, and there's a massive blizzard and they are trapped in the ski lodge. They're like snowed in with no electricity and no like contact with the outside world, and people start dying off one by one. This type of book is basically my ideal type of thriller, a very like closed in, oppressive situation with a kind of select group of suspects and people dying off one by one. Oh, it's basically my ideal book. I'm very, very much looking forward to getting to that one. So those are all of the books that I'm hoping to pick up in the month of November. I'm actually pretty confident this month that I can get to everything on my TBR, which is a big call because I don't think I've gotten to everything on my TBR in quite a while. I used to consistently read every single thing that I mentioned, but because of library due dates just constantly popping up and really getting on top of me, I just haven't been able to get to everything. But this month, I'm confident, I'm hoping, I'm really confident that I can get through everything on this TBR, and I'm really, really excited to do that, and to be able to talk to you guys about all of the books. So I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned or what your November TBR plans are. I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys.